Last time I recorded this, I lost like half of my footage because I was recording the opposite direction facing the mirror. So now I'm making sure this is actually recording in the right direction. Hi everyone, happy new year. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Brooke, and if you're new here, welcome. In today's video, I'm doing something that I should have been doing a long time ago, and that is creating some goals for the new year. So I figured while I am getting ready today, I would kind of talk about some of the goals that I have for this new year. So let's get into it. One of the first goals that I have for this new year is to actually go on a cruise. When I was away last summer for advanced camp for ROTC, the amount of people that were booking themselves a cruise was crazy, and I've actually been following, I believe it's called Hard Travel on YouTube for almost like 5 years now, and he does like tours of cruise ships, and I really loved watching them, and now I'm kind of obsessed with going on a cruise. They just seem so cool. A little bit more on the expensive side, but I like that everything is kind of right there for you on the boat, cruise ship, whatever you want to refer to it as. And so that's one of the first things on my goal list. Another thing I have kind of under the category of like fun and experience is that I really would love to try new food places, bakeries, at least once every single month. My family has a tendency to kind of go back to the same places, which is definitely not a bad thing, especially if they're really great, but I would really love to try a few new places. And I've saved a bunch on Instagram, so stay tuned for when I go and try them out. One of the next categories, I kind of categorized my whole goal list. Like that would kind of break it down into the different sections that I really want to work on this upcoming year. So I did 26 goals for 2026. I figured that would be kind of cool to kind of make it go along with the year. And so the next category I did was like baking, cooking, and I really love baking. However, I noticed for the last year, I've pretty much made only cookies or tried new cookie recipes. So one of the goals I want to try and do this year is to kind of go out of my comfort zone and try like a new category of baked goods, like breads. I've really wanted to try and find a good recipe for cupcakes, so I think that's something that I'm gonna be working on first. Last year for Christmas, I also got a ice cream machine, and I did make a few like ice cream recipes with it. However, this year I also want to try and perfect an ice cream recipe using the machine. I'm going to be trying to find recipes, and I have a few ideas in mind too that I just want to try and like make myself. So I think I'll go ahead and get started on that as well. The next section of my goals list is going into some financial goals that I have for this year. So one of my top ones is to try and pay at least 50% off of my student debt. I'm really grateful. I got a lot of good scholarships while I was in school, so thankfully I don't have like too much, but it still is a decent amount that I really would love to at least pay half of. Another goal that I have is really just to invest. I wrote I want to try and invest at least $6,000 into my Roth IRA. I think the limit has actually increased now to like $7,500 for the maximum contributions for the year for the Roth IRA, but I think I'm just going to keep it at that baseline for $6,000, and if I do more, that's even better. My next category of goals for 2026 is about just content creation in general. So for this year, I really want to try and maintain a good, consistent posting schedule. So I wrote down to try and do at least 2 long form videos a month, and then just 1 reel a week or 4 reels a month. I actually was doing that right before I did finals for this upcoming year, so around like October, November, I was really being consistent in doing 2 videos and a reel a week. Unfortunately, I've started to slack off in December. That's when finals were hitting, and obviously it was my senior year, so I did prioritize that a little bit more. But for 2026, I'd love to get back into that schedule, and I think I've pretty much adhered to it so far, starting in January and like right towards the end of December. So I'm really excited to become more consistent, and I think that'll lead into one of my next goals, my next 2 goals actually. which is to try and reach like 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and then maybe even 15,000 followers on Instagram. Finishing up the content / creative category, one of the next goals I had down was possibly signing with an agency. And this is really just to not only help with brand deals, but just content opportunities in general. I've seen it help so many content creators out there. And I know I'm still a little bit on the smaller side. I figured I would write it down because you really never know what could happen on social media. And so it's kind of like a far-reaching goal. But again, I just wanted to throw it down there and see what happens with it. And one of my last goals for this section is just to improve my on-camera confidence. And I think that's just going to come with obviously putting myself behind the camera more, which is something I've started working on towards the end of 2025. And I really want to continue working on all throughout 2026. One of the biggest goals on my goal list for 2026 is one of my career goals, and that is to pass the NCLEX. I am still waiting for my ATT. I was talking with a few other students who also recently graduated in December, and they were saying they weren't even going to hear back until January 15th at least. So I'm hoping, if that is the case, that I'll be able to schedule it sometime in February. That's my goal, and that's really it. I'm really excited. I didn't start studying yet, which I should probably get on, but I'm going to start creating a plan and then get into that and cross my fingers. One of the next categories on my 2026 goal list is my hobbies. One of my top goals under this category is just reconnecting with some of the hobbies that I lost throughout college. If you didn't already watch my What I Got for Christmas in 2025 video, I actually got and asked for some more colored pencils. I not only love to make homemade cards for my family, but I also really want to get back into like drawing, coloring, and even playing some video games. My brother has been asking me to re-download Clash of Clans. I used to play this all the time in like high school and into the beginning of college, and I kind of just stopped because I had so much schoolwork and other things going on at the time. So I kind of want to try and reconnect with some of these hobbies that I lost throughout college. So keeping under the hobbies category, one of the next goals that I have for this new year is just to catch up on TV shows and movies that I've been meaning to watch. Kind of going with this reconnection of some hobbies that I loved. I used to watch TV and movies all the time. My sister and I would actually like sit down at the end of the day and choose like a TV series or movie to watch. And we kind of lost that this last year just because we've been so busy with the business, school, and just kind of finishing up with ROTC as well. And so throughout this year, I'd really love to choose some TV shows and movies that I'd like to sit down and watch again. Especially Stranger Things. I watched, I think, the first 2 seasons of Stranger Things, and then I completely stopped watching it. And I think the final season, like, just came out, so that's something I really want to try and get back into. So keeping under this hobby category again, I really want to try and prioritize just reading like 5 to 10 minutes every day. I don't think the last time I actually read a book for the last few months, and that's just because, again, I was so busy with finals, and I find myself having trouble being able to like concentrate on the material that I need to know when I'm reading and like thinking about like a story plot in the back of my mind. So I haven't really read it all, and one thing I'd really like to do this year is just take the like 5 to 10 minutes out of my day, probably at the end of the day, just to sit down in bed and read a little bit before I fall asleep. And kind of going along with that, I really want to find a good book series that really keeps me like in tune and like wanting to read again. The last series that made me like so passionate was Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, literally my absolute favorite series. And I really just want to find another series that kind of just keeps me attached as much as that one. And if you're watching this video and tuning in, I would really love to hear some of your own goals for 2026 down below. So let me know what your goals are as I'm going through my own as well. While I'm waiting, I think my hair is almost dry. It's still like slightly wet. I'm gonna move into my health and fitness category for 2026. So one of my goals for this year is just to, again, be more consistent with exercising. ROTC really kept me on my feet all the time. We worked out pretty much almost every single day with ROTC. And so I really want to find something that I enjoy doing in terms of exercise. and I was thinking of maybe getting an LA Fitness membership. I really love swimming. That was something that I did towards the end of high school with my friends, and I know LA Fitness has a pool. So I was thinking of doing LA Fitness, maybe 3 times a week, doing like swimming, running, and then one day for like weights. So I'll see that. But if you have used LA Fitness before, I'd love to hear your thoughts as to whether I should get a membership there or if there's another place that you recommend. Continuing with the health and fitness goal section, another goal that I have is I really want to maybe try a different workout class, maybe like yoga, Pilates, Zumba, just something to change it up and honestly see if there's something else I would be interested in doing. My last goal for this health and fitness section is I would really love to regain the flexibility that I once had. I'll try and see if I could find an image of me when I was a little bit younger. But I had stretched, maybe it was like 6 months to a year, and I got my splits. I was able to do like, I forget if it's called like the arrow or something, like some sort of like gymnastics or just like really flexible moves. And I would really love to just achieve that flexibility again, be able to maybe do a split. I feel like that really helped with just my endurance and running, and I honestly just felt so much healthier overall. So I wrote that down as one of my goals, and we'll see how I could kind of make time into that along with my like workout goals and everything. So I actually literally just got off the phone call. I just paused recording really quickly because my sister just gave me a call, and what a coincidence this is. But I literally just got my ATT to be able to schedule my NCLEX. So I guess once I'm done recording this video, that is what I'm going to go do, is figure out when I want to take my NCLEX. So that's kind of exciting and a little bit nerve-wracking at the same time, a little bit stressful. Again, we'll cross our fingers and we're gonna pass. We're gonna pass this exam. And now moving on to my final category of goals for 2026. It's kind of like a beauty and like style category that I named it. And one of my goals in there, and I've been meaning to do this for such a long time now, and that is figure out how to curl hair. Like curl my own hair, really. I've like picked up, and I do have a curling iron too, and I've tried it so many times. My hair is like a little bit on like the thin, like straight. It is straight, but it's on like the thinner side, and I've just found it like so difficult to actually like have my hair like keep the curls. And so that's something I kind of want to try and work on this year, is learning how to actually curl my hair. One of the next goals under this category is I would love to possibly do something with my hair. I've already got like a cut recently that I really do like. I got some like layers and a little bit of face framing, but I would really love to maybe like add a little bit more like color just for some dimension to my hair. I've always been like so afraid to like do something with it, but I think maybe 2026 will be the year that I actually do something to my hair. We'll see. 2 goals actually that I have as well for this year is I really want to stop biting and just like picking at my nails. If you haven't already seen in like other videos, my nails are pretty much not even there. Like I barely have like any nails, and it's really just like stress and everything. So I'm hoping that now that like I'm done with school, I'll be able to just kind of like focus my mind on something else and not be like focused on my nails. But in terms of that, also with, you know, being able to like stop biting my nails, I really would love to go and get them like professionally done, like maybe get like a little bit of like a French tip on there. I moved back into my room since I'm all done with my hair now, but we are officially on to the last 3 goals of my 26 goals for 2026. And so my next 3 goals kind of revolves around like my closet and fashion. And so one of the last goals is just trying to add some more color to my closet. I'll make sure to insert like a little clip here of what that looks like. And most of my closet right now revolves around like black, blues, greens, which isn't necessarily like a bad thing because I really do like those colors on me. But I would really love to just add some more different colors, purples, pinks, reds, just to kind of like complement everything overall. And most of my closet right now is kind of just made up of like just uniforms. So I really love to just add some more fun pieces into my closet that I can wear. Continuing along with this, throughout this year, I would really love to build a closet with clothes that I genuinely enjoy wearing. There's a lot of items that I've bought throughout the years that I really liked how they looked, but I didn't necessarily consider I would genuinely like wearing them myself. And so now there's a bunch of those pieces that are just sitting, chilling in the back of my closet. So I think I'm gonna do kind of like a little 2026 closet like overhaul, take everything out, try it on, see what I like and don't like. One of the last goals is kind of going off of making a closet I genuinely enjoy. I would still love to kind of go out of my comfort zone a little bit and bring in a few pieces that maybe I am a little bit uncomfortable with, but something just to try something different, and change things up. That officially wraps up my 2026 goal list. Thank you so much for tuning in to my very first video of the new year. I hope you all had a wonderful new year thus far, and I'm really excited for what 2026 is going to bring. If you haven't already, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!